The Ravenloft Monstrous Compendium 2, Children of the Night, was released in 1993. It follows the compendium format of the first Ravenloft's Monstrous Compendium and the others of the time, loose leaf pages that fit in a 3-ring binder. It comes with 5 dividers and 20 monsters. However, this compendium does not contain the usual monsters. All 20 of the monsters are unique NPCs to help fill in your campaign. Most of the NPCs are pretty good, and so some show up in future Ravenloft products while some have already made an appearance. Their write-ups are pretty detailed, and with some even being several pages long. Their illustrations are pretty good as well and do convey the character that they're supposed to. For the most part, they are pretty useful, and I really don't think any of them are terrible, but here are a few of the bigwigs that are worth talking about. The Living Brain is a brain in a jar who has mental powers. It was created by Victor Mordenheim, who later escaped and is now trying to take control of the core domain of Demlentu from Dominique de Honner. And this is actually a pretty big plot point and a big deal in the Ravenloft campaign set. The Midnight Slasher is a serial killer that can appear in any large-sized city. He also appears in the adventure The Evil Eye and plays an important role. Chicken Bone is a voodoo priest in Sarange and can be plugged into Night of the Walking Dead. As a matter of fact, I recommend plugging him into Night of the Walking Dead since it gives that domain a little bit more of that New Orleans Southern colonial era atmosphere. Jahid the Were-Tiger appears in Web of Illusions, and Senmet the Mummy appears in Touch of Death. Althea the Medusa is actually a Dark Lord of a domain. The Owl of Demise is in the Sea of Sorrows off the coast of Lamordia, and that is her domain. It is a small domain, but a domain nonetheless. The Spectre Jezra Wagner is a great villain for the domain of Barovia in any campaign one wants to have there. The evil treant Blackroot appears in the Shadow Rift adventure, and the vampire Lithid, oh boy, his name is Athikina, can appear in Thoughts of Darkness. I do recommend the second Ravenloft Monstrous Compendium for any DM. The villains are well detailed and well suited to be plugged into any Ravenloft campaign as either a one-shot to add some spice or a reoccurring villain for any long-term adventure. Either way, you can't go wrong. Just ignore the compendium format of the time. The moon is full, the mists have risen, the terror is upon you. Step into these swirling clouds of fog, and you will come face to face with creatures more terrible than you can imagine. Be careful, for those who are embraced by the mist seldom live to tell the tale. Children of the Night presents complete descriptions of 20 unique individuals for use in the Ravenloft campaign setting. Ideal for use as important NPC or major villains, these creatures are certain to linger in the nightmares of player characters for years to come.